Life is not a sprint, it is a marathon. Too often, we are taught to chase quick wins, instant gratification, and fast results. But the truth is, the greatest achievements of humanity, the deepest transformations of individuals, and the most meaningful successes in life are born not in the frenzy of speed, but in the discipline of endurance, patience, and persistence. The willingness to play the long game are not just virtues. They are the true engines of greatness. Think of the oak tree. It does not rise overnight. It begins as a small acorn, buried under dirt, ignored by the world. For years, it struggles unseen, sending roots downward before its trunk rises upward. Seasons pass. Storms test its fragile growth. Yet slowly, steadily, it pushes on. And one day, without warning, the oak stands tall, unshakable, a monument to persistence. That is the story of every person who chose patience over panic, persistence over quitting. That is the story we are here to embody. We live in a world addicted to shortcuts. Advertisements promise six-pack abs in 30 days, instant wealth in weeks, overnight success guaranteed. But let me ask you, have you ever met a single person who built a truly meaningful life by accident, in a single night? No, because mastery, greatness, legacy, these cannot be rushed. They require the long game. They require patience to wait, and persistence to act. Again and again, even when results are invisible. Every successful person you admire has walked this path. Thomas Edison tested over 1,000 failed prototypes before discovering the working light bulb. Imagine if he had quit after the first 100 failures, or the first 500. But Edison understood the long game. He said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That is persistence. That is patience. That is the refusal to surrender when the world whispers, "Give up." Think of Nelson Mandela. He spent 27 years in prison, 27 years behind bars, years that would break most spirits. Yet when he was finally released, he did not emerge bitter, but steady, patient, prepared to lead South Africa into a new era. His life is proof that persistence through darkness creates light. His resilience is a reminder that the long game is not just about winning, but about who you become in the process. Or think of J.K. Rowling. Before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, she faced rejection after rejection. 12 publishers turned her down. 12 people said, "This won't work." But she kept going. She persisted. She believed in her story when no one else did. Today, her books have inspired millions of children worldwide. That is the long game. That is the fruit of persistence and patience. You see, patience is not passive. It is not waiting idly for something to happen. Patience is active endurance. It is the strength to keep moving forward, even when progress is invisible. And persistence is not stubbornness. It is intelligent resilience, the willingness to try again, to adjust, to refine, to adapt, but never to surrender. Together, patience and persistence are unstoppable. The truth is, anything worthwhile takes time. Love takes time. Mastery takes time. Character takes time. Building a business takes time. Becoming the person you are meant to be takes time. The seed of greatness is inside you, but it needs patience to grow and persistence to survive the storms. The long game means understanding that setbacks are not signs of failure, but stepping stones on the journey. Look at the story of Abraham Lincoln. He faced defeat after defeat in his early life. He lost jobs, failed in business, lost elections, faced depression, and yet he kept going. He did not let temporary setbacks define his ultimate destiny. Eventually, he became the President of the United States, remembered as one of the greatest leaders in history. Why? Because he played the long game. He chose persistence over despair. Let's be honest, the long game is hard. It is frustrating to put in work and see little reward. It is painful to wait while others seem to be sprinting ahead. It is discouraging when your efforts are invisible. But the long game teaches you something deeper, that real success is not measured in days or weeks, but in decades and lifetimes. That the journey shapes you as much as the destination. When you practice patience, you learn humility. You realize the world does not bend to your schedule. You begin to respect the rhythm of life, the seasons of growth, the invisible processes that are shaping you in silence. And when you practice persistence, you build strength. You become resilient. You develop grit, the kind of inner toughness that does not crumble under pressure. Let me tell you this. Greatness belongs to those who can outlast. Talent will get you started, but persistence will keep you going. Motivation will ignite you, but patience will sustain you. Inspiration will give you a spark, but persistence will turn it into fire. Think of a mountain climber. At the base, the peak looks impossibly far. Step by step, breath by breath, climb by climb, they ascend. Some days the weather is brutal. Some days progress is slow. Some days every muscle aches. But they keep going, because they know the summit is not reached in leaps but in steps. That is the long game. Or think of bamboo. For the first 5 years after planting, bamboo shows almost no visible growth. People mock it, they say it is useless. But what is happening underground? Roots are spreading, strengthening, preparing. Then, in the 5th year, bamboo can shoot up more than 80 feet in just 6 weeks. That is the power of patience. That is the result of persistence. And that is your story if you don't give up too soon. You must understand this truth. The world does not reward the fastest. It rewards the most consistent. The person who keeps showing up, the one who doesn't quit, the one who is still there after others have walked away. The long game filters out the impatient, the weak, the easily distracted. Only those with patience and persistence remain standing. If you want to transform your life, embrace the long game. Stop asking, how fast can I get there? Start asking, how far can I go if I refuse to stop? Because the real question is not speed but endurance. Can you stay faithful to the process when results are invisible? Can you keep planting seeds when the soil looks barren? Can you keep climbing when the summit is hidden in clouds? That is the test of greatness. The long game will require sacrifice. You will have to say no to shortcuts, no to distractions, no to the easy way out. You will have to choose discipline over comfort, focus over pleasure, growth over entertainment. The long game demands that you think not in days but in years, not in achievements but in legacy. And here's the secret. The long game is not just about achieving success, it is about becoming a person worthy of success. Patience teaches you to wait with dignity. Persistence teaches you to act with courage. Together, they forge character, and character is the foundation of a meaningful life. So when fear tells you, you're too slow, remind yourself, speed is not the measure of greatness. When doubt whispers, you should quit, remind yourself, persistence is the measure of greatness. When impatience says, it's taking too long, remind yourself, the long game is worth it. Remember, Rome was not built in a day, masterpieces are not painted in hours, legends are not born overnight. The greatest lives are built brick by brick, day by day, year by year, with patience and persistence as the mortar. The question is not whether you will face obstacles, you will. The question is not whether you will face delays, you will. The question is, will you stay in the game long enough to win? Because the prize always belongs to those who endure. This is your calling, to embrace the long game. To become the oak tree, the bamboo, the climber, the visionary who understands that greatness is not a moment but a lifetime. To persist when others quit. To wait when others rush. To keep going when others fall away. Because in the end, the long game is not just about winning, it is about becoming. And the person you become through patience and persistence is far greater than any prize. So stand tall. Be patient, be persistent. Embrace the long game, and watch as your life transforms into something greater than you ever imagined.